Thank you, Nana, and a good morning to you again, a good morning to Senior, and a good morning to your viewers. As to whether the determination exonerates them, I don't know the contents of the petition, and I'm not too sure if it's been published. The processes in Article 146 allows it to be published. So I don't know the content, so I cannot talk about exoneration. It is heartwarming, though, to realize that the president and his government are beginning to see reason to a lot of the things that we spoke against, particularly in the processes that got the former Chief Justice sacked by the president. I have said many times on this particular platform that to date, it beats my imagination and I can't comprehend how that happened. The alerts with that particular process were able to glean, whether legally or illegally, the contents of the petition. And because processes also went on, there were opportunities for us to have known how or what led to or what the contents of those petitions were. In the case of a Chief Justice of a Republic, where we sack our Chief Justice because of some reimbursement of expenses and realignment of human capital within the judiciary, it is something that we are going to leave to I nearly said regrets, but I won't say regrets, but we are going to bear the consequences of that action, and it's going to live with us for a long time. Those processes, maybe we have learned from them, because we have seen current ratings of our governance institutions internationally, and that particular act has featured prominently in where or how the international community views Ghana. We realized that while that process was going, even the Commonwealth Lawyers Association reacted. They sent out some press reviews that we all read, and so it has far-reaching consequences on how Ghana is viewed internationally. Thankfully, there were, from what we gleaned, 7 petitions against the EC chair and her deputies. And then there were also 3 against the OSP. Whilst that of the OSP, the reference point was going to be the act that actually set up the office in 2017. And that of the EC was going to be that of the Constitution and the constitutional provisions. And so it is heartwarming to get to this point as a Ghanaian. But I think that beyond that, I agree with my senior that we as a nation should be moving towards strengthening institutions and not building strong men. Of course, the government structures that we have ascribed to at this point, we have no option but to build these institutions up. And we don't have perfect institutions, not even in the advanced democracies. That is why we have check and balances within the system. We have internal audits, external audits, just to ensure that everything actually goes per the provisions of the law and is done in a very transparent manner. I cannot talk about exoneration of these people because, like I said earlier, I am not too sure what the petitions contained. But I recollect that one of the petitioners was interviewed on your sister radio station, and there were things said about him, his stance, and even his locals. I mean, what led to him leaving the EC, whether it was he thought that maybe so it was time to get back at somebody who is taking some disciplinary action. And if we allow some of these things to fester, it is going to lead to the weakening of these institutions rather than building them up. It is heartwarming to know, and that we have seen the end of this process. But again, this morning I've heard that one of the is it an institution or a body that sent a petition is saying that they are going to send another petition Litigation has to come to an end at a certain point. Yeah. I don't know how or what's new evidence, because I don't even know what was contained in the original petition. So I don't know what new evidence or what is going to be new about the petition. But I think that we should forge on as a nation. We should stop backbiting and pulling people down, weakening our institutions because that just because we think that my government is in its time for payback and all of that. I don't think that is healthy and it's going to help us in the long run. So as to exoneration, I'm unable to speak about exoneration because I don't know the content. But I am just happy that we've learned from what transpired in the case of what happened in the judiciary, and we are ready to move on. This is also not to say that the cocoa farmers are actually being are happy because we are being shortchanged, and that we have a responsibility.
Where is this cocoa farmer story coming from?
You see, when you look at the role cocoa has played for the economy of Ghana, today when you go on the website of Cocoa Board itself, cocoa actually employs about 1 million families. 1 million families. Cocoa had been one of the, or if not the major foreign exchange earner for a long time to hold this economy together. And when the cocoa sector is being threatened, it is.
I'm surprised how we got to this cocoa matter.
No, we're talking about institutions, and I'm just dovetailing from our judiciary. I mentioned our judiciary. I mentioned the Electoral Commission, and obviously a serious and a significant institution like Cocoa Board cannot be left out.
The Constitutional Review Commission suggested 10-year tenure of office for an EC chair. So how can we tie that into some of these things so that at least there's some level of security for an EC boss to do their work, and after 10 years they just go quietly?
Then again, security of tenure, it hits either way. In a case where you have an EC who is transparent, who is doing a good work, 10 years probably seems fair. In a case where you have a problemed EC who is being, I'm not too sure of the word to use, who is not doing a very good job. And because the tenure is guaranteed, you have to live with that EC for 10 years. Then it becomes problematic. I'm thinking that we should still stay with the current dispensation where they retire at the age of 70, just like we have in the superior courts. And so depending on where the EC comes in, with their constitutional provisions, of course. I mean, I just spoke about the coming to conclusion of this round of petitions, but there may be cases where these petitions might hold water and might really need to go through. And so I still don't think that you should fix something that is not broken. If it ain't broken, why fix it? I am, and then also even with this constitutional amendments, I am not too sure where we are. Last time I think it's in Parliament or something, but I am not too sure where we are on the matter. So I will prefer the current dispensation rather than as tinkering with it when it's really not broken.